I cannot wait to get these braces off my teeth. I feel like before I got the braces on, I was like most people who want braces and want to straighten out their teeth. I mean, you're excited about it at first, but I had just gotten to a point to where my dental hygiene was exactly where I wanted it to be. I was flossing multiple times a day. Teeth were squeaky clean all throughout the day. But girl, as soon as you get braces, bitch, that's all she wrote. Hey, Darby, baby. Hey, by the way, I see Persian. I see Polka's in the house. Alex is in the house. The legendary Mothers and Fathers, Brianna's in the house. Of course, legendary Rich Girl Billion is in the house. Justin, the children are pouring through. I want to apologize. I'm running a little bit later. You guys know the internet connection here is not the best. I have a table read that I had to cancel twice because it's having some type of issue. So I'll have to work through that. But I wanted the main channel and the table read to be up. And then I wanted to hit you up a solid Blue Can't Show with the live show. But, you know, that's what happens when you try to control things. And hey, Mariah Gorgeous. And that's when you try to control things. And you kind of sometimes you just got to let it go and let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. But you guys, I'm so fucking excited about all we're going to do. I'm getting a little anxious. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like although December 19th is not that far away, it just feels like so much hinges on, you know, everything kind of going according to plan, or at least ultimately going according to plan. And the main thing is I don't want to let y'all down. Like, I've been doing so much meditating, you know, hitting this blunt. Let me bring this mic closer so I don't have to talk so loud. Hey, baby, how you doing? He said, girl, I'm checking out. You better come through with this cocktail. You know what? I did enjoy it. You guys made me feel so special. I got love. Mother Ashley, I think she wrote me on, Instagram. I had, of course, the legendary children here. Come through, Miller. What's the tea? Yes, I'm living for this new thumbnail. You better come through with this new thumbnail. But you get what I'm saying? Like, and I know that that's natural. When you want something really bad, you know, it's like, okay, you just be anxious. But I look at my floor plan like every day. You know what? We may do a review once I get into my apartment. I really don't want to do too much while I'm here. Because as you guys really can't see, maybe when I leave, I'll show you how small this space actually is. I think it might look bigger on camera. First of all, my mother has been nothing but hospitable. There's nothing more she could do to make this more, accommodating. There's nothing. I mean, she's been making my favorite foods, you know, my favorite dirty rice, you know what I'm saying? You want to know, here's the reason why. I do want to go back into doing it Persian. The only reason why is because I love you too, baby. Thank you so much, Alex. And you've been with me for a while. I remember you. You've been with me for a minute. So what was I just saying? I lost my total train of thought. Oh, Patreon. So why I'm not doing that right now is because, to be honest, although I do like it better than You Now, just to be quite honest, You Now is quicker. With You Now, it's like when I'm ready to go live, you know, when I'm ready to go live, I just go live. With that, it's like I still haven't figured out, you know, I gotta do it 30 minutes in advance, but not too far in advance or not too close to the time. Like, with that, they don't let you just press a button and go live. You have to, like, go through all these changes. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I feel like once we get it up and running, I love it because I think the quality is much better. I mean, I think we could all agree with that. But I just think the process, you know what I'm saying? Because my main thing is, I just want to connect with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I want it to be like luxurious as far as the accommodations. But my main thing is, I don't want to make excuses on why I can't connect. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you know, and another thing is, you know what I'm saying? With me being here temporarily, the internet is not the best. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I mean, I'm praying that she keeps me. Normally around this time, people are going to bed. So I mean, this is just, I'm not a technician, so I could be totally wrong. But I'm looking at the time, it's almost 11 o'clock. Normally around the evening, things kind of slow down a little bit. So my internet is somewhat okay. But I mean, even that's not a guarantee. And then sometimes what'll happen with this Comcast, what we have, I'll sign in. I know the password is correct. It'll tell me invalid password, invalid password, invalid password. It's so frustrating. I just can't, I'm just ready to like be in my own space. You guys, I'm so excited. It's like, I keep talking about it because I just want to materialize it. Like, I feel like the more I talk about what I want, the quicker it occurs and the more my mind finds ways to maneuver and navigate to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just drop the bomb and leave it. And that's, to me, the thing I think a lot of people forget about is just because you have a dream. Okay, let me put it like this. Do y'all remember when back in the day, when I did the Boom concert, we did the donations for the Boom concert? Y'all all remember that? I mean, I think most of you probably will remember when we did the Boom show, or where we were trying to do the Boom concert. But see, the thing where I went wrong was I was so afraid to promote myself, because I felt like once I did the one video, in my heart, I felt like, well, you know, if they love my music and if they love me, you know, they saw the video, so they know I'm doing this. So I shouldn't, I don't want to overwhelm them. And then, so I never really promoted it. It was almost like I felt bad. Like, I felt like it was wrong for me to say that, hey, this is something what I'm doing, and would you like to chip in? It was, and I've always kind of been like that, to be honest, because even when it came to the food stamps, when I was doing food stamps, by the way, hello to, all the boys and girls that are just entering the room. Hello and welcome. I know we have some newcomers. I was reading the comments. I know we have some newcomers. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. But, what's so ironic about the Boom concert is it caused so much like uproar. But at the same time, I could have done that. If I would have had a little bit more of a business mind, I would have understood how to do that, because I could have raised that money if I really put my mind to it. But I just was so like timid about, hey, you guys, the Boom, like every video I should have been talking about that concert. And I should have been visualizing what I want to do. Like the way that we were talking about Mother Pat is how I should have been about the Boom concert. You know how we would come on here on the live show and I'll be telling y'all like, yo, the heels, the shoes. Like I almost felt like it was wrong for me to be excited about it. Like I couldn't talk about it. I felt like it was wrong for me to mention it every video. I thought it was okay for me to maybe mention it once, maybe twice. But it just felt like too much. And then I figured, well, what I'll do is I'll just put it in the description. That's not enough. That is not enough. And you know what, Mother Mariah, it's so funny that you say that, because on Instagram, there's a rapper. He's one of the LGBT rappers. And he's a rapper. His name is Brian. Well, he's Brian, or at least that's what I call him. Brian. And on Instagram, it's Brian Music, I think it is. But I commented, I said, girl, when we going on tour? Because he's a rapper. And he's pretty good. I said, girl, when we going on tour? Listen, I want to put a show together. I just don't want to do it prematurely. Because, now I'm older. Now I kind of know how these things go and how to put a show together and how to, get the money for the show. I want to kind of my first main priority is getting Patreon back on track as far as Cooking with Q, Gaming with Q, Pursue Acuity, The Code, all of the ASMR. I want to get our schedule back on track, at which point we can start talking about a concert or something, you know what I'm saying? Priority number 1 is Patreon, getting her where she needs to be. Priority number 2, of course, I want to mobilize and really kind of get my YouTube to have more of an impact. I think I'm getting better about that, you guys. I'm studying. I listen to these tapes every day. How can I be a better artist? How can I be a better businessman? How can I just be a better person? I always am striving to see how I can be better. Sidebar, I had to read this bitch on my newest video. Girl, these girls are going to learn. What's so crazy is, it's so crazy to me because, bitch, she said something like, I don't know, and I'm paraphrasing, but just go on to the new video, because you should still see her comment, because I think I favorited my comment so that the girls can see me responding to this bitch, because girl, she's trying it, and I want the girls to see me responding to this bitch, because I dare you. My thing is, I've been very open about what I do, bitch. If I was into coke, girl, I would just say I'm into coke if that's what I was into, bitch. But at the end of the day, girl, that's not what I serve. Here it is, I'm here openly smoking this blunt. What do I have to hide? But for her, she said something like, y'all are so excited for her, but she's a crackhead. She's strung out on coke or something, she said. And I'm like, bitch, show me a bitch that has ever said that I bought something about for her. So I know who to sue for slandering me on some shit that you just made up off the top of your head. You've never seen me partake in anything like that. Any person that tells you different is a fucking liar. You've never seen. Bitch, I've been offered coke many a times, girl, but I'm good on that, bitch, because I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. And so funny. when I was editing the video, there was a scene in the latest video what I did where I think it was when I came back and got the water bong. And here's the thing that people, in my mind, the reason why I didn't edit that out is because it wasn't that deep to me. I was like, oh shit, it was the way that I touched my nose. I'm like, oh, it looks like I did coke. But girl, in my mind, that's a key because I know what it serves. Like, bitch, I'm not doing that. So I'm not pressed on like trying to cover that up. Do you get what I'm saying? The reality is, bitch, I have 2 animals in a very small space. I'm sitting right next to the litter box. You understand? Like, you can see the litter in the video. Like, if you look by the stereo, you can see the litter, like the box where the litter is in. Directly next to me is the litter box. Felice is all up in the space. She's moving around. She's doing this. She's doing that. Anais, you can't see her, but she's all up in this space. So it's like the reason why I'm doing that is because I have allergies, girl, and I have animals that shed. Use your brain. People kill me. Hey, baby, how you doing? You said yeah, girl, but here's my thing. I don't want to judge the girls for what they do. I'm not interested in that, though. You know what I'm saying? And I've been very open about the things that I might be interested in trying. For instance, I might do a mushroom. The only reason why I'm open to that, though, is because I feel like it's of the earth. Anything where you got to cook it, put chemicals in it, bake it. I don't want that. Does that make sense? I feel like from what I've seen on YouTube, hey, baby, how you doing? From what I've seen on YouTube, as far as shrooms are concerned, it's like a spiritual thing. I'm very into that. Like, I'm not just doing this because even when I smoke weed, it relaxes me and it makes me think. It takes me deeper. Anything that's going to make me lose control of my mind, that's the reason why I'm not super pressed on alcohol. Alcohol could be fun, but it's not something that for instance, I don't drink alone. Drinking for me is more of a social thing. There have been times where I've drank alone for a video, but literally there has never been a time where I just sat home drinking alone. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm simply saying, for me, when I smoke, it's more of like there's a high, but it takes me higher. Like, it elevates me. I don't become a potato. Like, I don't start not making sense. Now, granted, I may be all over the place, but bitch, you already know. Like, even before I smoked weed, I was already all over the place. So that's nothing new. She told me it's a 50-50 situation on how it affects you. And you know, Mariah, I've been doing my research, so I know some of the girls have really good... See, but here's what I think about shrooms. I think with shrooms, it's all on how you go into it. I could be wrong because I've never done it, but if it's anything like alcohol or marijuana, because I even think with marijuana, I've never had... That's a lie. I have had a bad trip with marijuana. But I guess my point is, it doesn't scare me because I know that if I go into it happy, it'll be a happy experience. So even if I'm feeling like shit prior to me smoking, I always get my mind right. Like, okay, girl, I'm about to have me some fun. Let me get my plate of food. Because y'all know how it is. Get your plate of food. Prior to me even rolling my blunt, I like to have a nice movie lined up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby girl, how you doing? You said don't heat them. Or don't put them on pizza. Oh, girl. I heard they taste like doo-doo, though. Since they coming straight out the ground. That's the only part about it. So I almost feel like I want to just, like, don't even chew it, just swallow it. But then I feel like with shrooms and edibles, they just take too long to hit. You said I was really paranoid once, but it wasn't really bad. You know what? See, here's the thing. I have a nurturer in my brain. What do I mean by that? Literally, I have this thing in my head that anytime I'm panicking, I retreat to that part of my head, and that voice knows what to tell me to calm me down. So for instance, one time I smoked, and this is when I was at my highest weight. So what, 215 I was. 215 pounds. And at that time, my blood pressure was higher, and so I'm sitting there, I'm smoking, I'm having a good time. And the next thing I knew, my chest was feeling tight. And I felt like the muscles started to feel some kind of way. And I thought to myself, if I panic right now, I might have a heart attack and die. I don't think it was the weed. I don't think it was the weed. I just think I was just unhealthy at that point. Like, I had my weight. I had gained all that weight in such a small window of time. I think the stress of my relationship at that time, it was just so much was going on. And so I just remember thinking, I need to calm down. So I was just talking to myself. And all the while I'm talking, I'm doing deep breathing. I'm massaging my chest. You're okay. You're okay. This happens from time to time. Like, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I think everybody, like, you know, here's the thing about it. We're a family here. You understand? This is a community of people. And in my heart of hearts, granted, like I said, you know, from time to time we're going to get bad apples. But I think overall, I think we are all in agreement that there's something special here. Like, this is a community. It's not just the entertainment is the entertainment. But at the same time, I just feel like this is a real community, which to me is like, oh my goodness. It's like I wanted it to be that way, but I'm just thankful, you know, because you can never really anticipate how it's gonna really turn out. I mean, you can go into it thinking, oh, I want it to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but then, okay, now you're there and everybody hates each other. Everyone can't get along, but I'm just so thankful. So fucking thankful. I mean, sometimes it makes me want to cry because I'm like, how... I mean, you just think, go on other people's videos and go into the comments. The girls be wanting to argue and bicker back and forth. Even on my YouTube videos, I think that's so far and in between. I just think the girls that are attracted to the platform are girls that don't want to, they want to have a good time. Anybody got time to sit there and argue. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just really appreciative over that. Let me see. Okay, oh, thank you. Hold on one second, you guys. Girl, hold on. Girl, these niggas, they miss you when you're gone, girl. They miss you when you're gone. Oh yeah, girl, you know I had to serve you this surprise plate, sweetheart. I had to come through with this surprise plate. Really, one of the reasons why I wanted to come through with this surprise plate is because you all deserve it. From time to time, I just want to throw some extra shit in there that you weren't expecting. You know why? Because just your loyalty to me, you deserve way more than what I'm even... Of all what I've ever done, you know, it's always my intention to always give you more. Give you more, make it better. But are you kidding me? Like, of course. I just wanted to connect with you guys. Your loyalty to me, especially during this time while we're waiting for my apartment to open. It's like, I just want to be in the presence of my girl. So, you know, I'm just thankful that everybody that's here was able to make it in. You know what I'm saying? Because this is kind of like a drive-by show. You know what I'm saying? But you said time as a kid used to go by so slow now. Mm-hmm. You want to know what it is, though? I think when I think back to my childhood, it really did. Here's another stupid-ass show. What is this? Let me turn my TV. Even though there's no volume. Where's my remote? Because, bitch, anybody got time? I just hate where we are as a planet. Like, everything... I feel like the girls that need a show don't have a show. The girls that have the shows, they're stupid shows. I was just on Bravo because I was watching the New Jersey Housewives while I was trying to get the table read up. And, bitch... I left it on the channel, but just now a commercial was playing... for a show that is either coming or a show that is already in existence. And it's like the girls are walking around on the street butt naked. Like, what the hell is this? What is this? Like, what is this? It just feels like the entertainment value is just so basic. So basic. I feel like that's the reason why when shows like Insecure or Empire or any type of scripted television show comes around that people like, that's why it's such a big deal, because I think people are slowly but surely kind of getting over reality TV and like these stupid like shows. Like, it's just, first of all, I stopped watching Empire maybe the 4th episode into season 2 because she just started doing too much for me. You said, what's my opinion on T.S. Madison show Queen's Court? You want to know what? Sometimes Kaya is very funny to me, and other times I can't take her. It just depends. I watch Kaya maybe once every few months because sometimes she does key, and it's funny to me, especially if I have a blunt on hand. But I think at where I am in my life, I'm trying to get away from that type of thing. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I will never do a celebrity video where I'm talking about a celebrity, but I just feel like there's so much that I'm doing with my girls here on Patreon. Our goals, what we're trying to do as far as like the insurance, the grocery store, the different charities, the different things. Like, I have too much I'm trying to do. I don't have time, to be honest. I don't have time. It's like, to me, in my life, as humans, let's be real. As humans, we have our own opinions. That's just the reality. So in other words, you know, when you see someone, if they look a hot mess, even if you don't say it, you're going to be thinking, girl, she is not cute. She look a hot, like whatever. But as far as me putting it in a YouTube video, I may talk about it on Patreon, because what are the chances that Lil' Kim is going to get her ticket to come here on Patreon? So she'll never know what I'm saying. I just don't want to hurt people's feelings is what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I'm at a place where I still want to give my opinion, but I just want to be a little bit more careful about how I'm saying it. I don't know if I'm making sense. I still need to meditate on it, because I still haven't wrapped my mind fully around what I'm saying. Girl, oh my God. 125 million. Girl, kaboom. Kaboom. Another show that I literally... Q, how you feel about Tamar's mom saying she's worried Tamar... What? Well, I've never heard her say that, but if her mom is saying that, that's concerning. I feel like if your mom is saying that, there might be some truth to it. Wow, that's kind of scary, actually. I've never actually heard that. I'm the same way, but sometimes you can't twist. And I agree with you, Mariah. I feel like I would never lie. Like, I'm never going to say it's yes when it's a no. I just, for instance, as far as YouTube, in particular YouTube, I don't want to use that particular platform. Like, for instance, if I'm talking about Lil' Kim, it's hard because how do you get around how she looks? But then at the same time, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, because I still don't know exactly how I want to do it. Here's what I know though. I think that I'm positioning myself in a way where I don't have to talk about other girls. People will watch my material even if it's just us sitting down doing a Dollar Tree haul. Like, it was different when I was first starting out, even though I didn't think of it this way. But, back then I was really homeless, basically. Like, even though I was living with my mom, if it wasn't for people who loved me, I couldn't afford to live on my own. So back then it was more like, okay, well, I'm enjoying this, and it's also putting a little bit of money in my pocket. So it was more of a necessity then. But now that I'm kind of in a different position, I don't necessarily have to do those type of videos. I don't know if that's making sense. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing? Girl, when I tell you that Fenty Beauty is popping off the page with that avatar, girl, because she is just serving me highlight, contour, I'm here. She said, girl, Miss Legendary Mother Alejandra has arrived on the scene. But in any case, I don't know. Did you see Wendy fall out? I did see Wendy fall out. I think Wendy is just going through a lot right now. I think Wendy probably passed out because she's dealing with her infidelity, the infidelity with her husband. Then I was reading somewhere that, girl, her husband, girl, let me tell you something. Wendy, you're with your husband because you want to be with your husband. I'm not buying this. Oh, she's afraid she's going to lose everything. You're not going to lose everything, because guess what? He's the one who's cheating on you. So I don't see what court would be like, oh yeah, let's give him 50% for destroying the marriage. He blew up the marriage. So if he blew up the marriage, her saying that is just an excuse. Just an excuse. And the reason why I think people aren't as sympathetic, see, this is one of the reasons why I want to get away from talking about everybody else's business. Because just look, I was in a relationship where, look what happened to me. So it's like, there's a thin line. I'm trying to figure out what that line is, though. But see, that's the great thing about what we do here on Patreon. I think it's so important to look within, to self-reflect, and actually, nobody is perfect, and that's okay, too. You know what I'm saying? But let me get into these comments real quick. Let me scroll up. I'm sorry, you guys. Because, I get into talking, and then I was listening to The Sweetest Thing by Lauryn Hill, and was, you know what? That song is... I'm wondering, didn't I do a mixtape track to that song? Or maybe it was X Factor. I don't recall which Lauryn track. Or was it not Lauryn? That had to be Lauryn. I forget sometimes. It's so much. No. You know what? Here's the thing, Chris. You are 1,000% correct. I want to be true to me. But I think a part of life is growing up. But when I say growing up, I want to be very clear, because I think the term growing up gets a lot of slack. There's a difference between literally growing up. Growing up should be literal. Like, it means you're going upward. You're elevating. You're elevating your mind, your craft, your talent, your thoughts, your perspective. That's what growing up should be. It should be a mechanism to take you from the lobby to the penthouse. Like, it should take you higher. However, I find in society, when they use that term, grow up, that normally is something that is meant to put you in bondage. Oh, leave that alone. Grow up. It's time to get serious. So when I say grow up, I don't mean it in the way that the world means it. I mean it in the literal sense, grow up, elevate your mind. Now, to be clear, no tea, bitch, of course I'm going to be me. So I'm a key. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cackle. I'm working a key. But I just want to make sure, I want to be careful that it's not harsh. That's all I'm saying. It needs to be, I want it to be fun, but I just want to make sure it's not harsh. And we all know the difference. I mean, you see these YouTube videos with these girls and they're talking about girls' health. They're going into like girls' homes. Like, they're just doing too much. Now, if a girl comes for you, that's different. But I'm just saying, like, I just want to get to a point to where it's not like just vicious just to be vicious. Does that make sense? But you want to know what? It's not even just about me protecting my brand or image. I think my brand and image will be fine either way. It's more just spiritually. Because to me, sometimes I think, what if Lil' Kim heard some of the things that I said about her? And what if she heard that and it made her cry? It kind of made me sad. Because even though I don't know her, I'm not here to like make her feel worse about maybe what she might look like. Assuming she feels some kind of way about it. You know, sometimes I go in on her wigs. Now, maybe someone who is different, I can go into the wig. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe someone who doesn't have so many insecurities, but I just feel like it's too easy to pick on Lil' Kim. It's like, it need to be someone who, if I said something, they wouldn't really care because you're sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I came for Beyonce and said, bitch, that wig is tired. Oh, well, because girl, she had an off day. We all have off days. She'll bounce back from that. But I feel as though if I start talking about Kim and I go into Kim, I feel like something I say about her could be damaging in a real way, like to her self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I start that's where I'm kind of at right now, is I don't want anyone to hear what I'm saying about them and to be feeling like their self-esteem. Because who the fuck am I? Like, who cares what I think? Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? As far as, oh, you should have got a nose job. Well, you got the goddamn nose job. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, me saying what you shouldn't have done doesn't, take away from the fact that what's done is already, it occurred. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm still struggling with it. I'm not going to sit here and flex like I have all the answers with that particular conversation. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, where do we draw the line? What is okay? What is not okay? I'm just trying to be fair. I just want to be fair. That's all, you guys. You know what I serve. And maybe I'm overthinking it, which my ex has told me from time to time that I tend to do. Which in some cases, maybe I do overthink. Because like, even when it came to Patreon, one of the reasons why it took me so long to launch it was because I was so much of a perfectionist. Everything was like, when it came to all the graphics, what you see, I must have done it over like those graphics 15, 20 times. Okay, no, I don't like this one. No, I don't like that one. The color is too harsh. This is too soft. That is too this. This is too that. Because, But anyway, let me scroll up and read these comments because I keep talking. Let me scroll up, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, thank you for that. I do try to catch myself if I'm going too far off where I feel like it's hurtful. I try to reel it in. So thank you for saying that. I try to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are those times where I went in. But I just feel like, honestly, when I watch other people do that, it turns me off. So if I don't like it when, like, for instance, we were talking, I think Kaya was how we started this conversation. But with Kaya, by the way, they switched my elastics. This bag is just cuter, no shade. It has like a little sea otter on it. But in any case, with Kaya, the reason why I can't take her all the time is because I find her to be extremely harsh. I don't like when people talk about people's health because unless you are dead, girl, you might get cancer. Bitch, you're a gay queen living in this world. You might turn up with something too. Like, I don't think it's cute to make fun of people's like health. It just, to me, is like icky. Anytime I hear people, and then they're cavalier about it, like, her face look like she might got something. Like, what if you get herpes? Is it still going to be funny then? Like, are you still going to be going in on herpes when you get it? You know what I'm saying? God forbid. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? When these girls be like, I don't know. I've never thought, I always felt health was supposed to be off limits. That, and then like certain things like, okay, let's just say someone is burned. Like, just leave it alone. Don't go there. Don't go there. But I feel like certain girls be going in. Like, girl, what's going on? Look like someone like they literally got burned. And you're saying it looks like you got a hot pan of oil thrown in your face. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like it's just, I don't know. And so I'm just trying to make those changes. But I don't mind Kaya. To be honest, I don't dislike her. I just got to take her in doses. I think that she can definitely be funny. I totally understand her appeal as far as, you know what I'm saying? But I think that T.S. Madison needs to be careful, honestly, because I feel like Kaya, to a certain extent, is dragging her brand down. That's just my own personal take on it. But I could be wrong. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. I hope she continues to collect her coin. I'm not here to keep her from her money. Get your money. I'm just saying, to me, one time I was watching, I think this was one of their more recent ones. I don't know, because again, I don't keep up with it, but they recommended in my YouTube watch or whatever. And I tuned in, and I understood where Kaya was coming from, but I just didn't like the fact she doesn't know how to self-reflect. And any person that doesn't know how to do that, I feel like I'm going to have a problem with that person. Because nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And so when T.S. Madison was telling her, oh, this word is offensive, that word, it just feels like, you know, at one point, white people could openly say nigger. Seems like as times change, you change with the times. It was okay yesterday, it's not okay today. The word, and excuse me for saying it, but tranny is not a word that I think is okay anymore. Not because I have an issue with it, but because the people who actually it pertains to have an issue with it. So it's not, so I feel like it doesn't matter what I think if the group that is saying it applies to us is saying it's offensive. Just like with little people. If they're telling me that, you know, when I was younger, I used to hear and again, forgive me just to make the point, I used to hear the word midget a lot. And I never thought it was a problem up until I got older and I started to hear people have conversation and say, oh, well, really, we prefer this. Because first it was midget and then I heard dwarf but now I think it's little people. So here's my thing. I don't care what it is, as long as I want to address people how they want to be addressed. And when Kaya couldn't understand that and continued to be like faggots, trannies, dykes, that right there turned me off, because I get you're grown, but you're never too grown to learn something new. And to me, for her to go, okay, I can maybe see her saying it, but once T.S. Madison was trying to like help her out and be like, oh girl, let me explain to you, let me help you out, sis. Seemed to me she should have been like, you want to know what? Oh, that's that's offensive. Lesbians don't like being called dykes. Oh, gay men as a whole don't like being called this or that faggot. Oh, like she was just like, girl, please, that's how I talk, whatever, the faggots, the dykes, like she did not entertain it at all. I can't be in the same space with a person like that. Because then she's going to say something because she's a narcissist. I believe her, at least how she carries herself on camera. Having gone through my relationship and researching gaslighting, narcissism and psychopathic behavior, I see her as like a narcissist. Because any person she strikes me as the kind of person who, number one, she wants all the attention to be on her. I think she has a hard time. I wouldn't mind working with her. I just don't know if it would end well. Because I feel like the only way it would work is if I am the only one compromising. I think if I were to say, Kaya, I don't like this or that, I don't know. I just think that I don't think it would work. But anyway, let me read the comments. I'm sorry, my love. Let me scroll up. You said, oh, okay, so yes, Doug misses Kaya. I'm back with the program. Yes. Why was Kaya even talking? I don't mean to be funny, but does she... You know what? I know she does a lot of music, my love. I'm not sure if she has an album coming out now, but I do, from what I heard one of the older ones, I think she said that she's always releasing music. So I know that she's still releasing music for sure. It's just, I view her like I view Azealia Banks, which that's another conversation. Y'all want to get on Azealia real quick? Because I saw her interview that she did. Yes, Zachary, what's up, baby? Listen, when we wrap up, if you want, let me roll a blunt or let me like pack my bowl. Matter of fact, my mother made my favorite dirty rice. It's so fucking good. But let me fix a plate, pack this bowl, and if you want, we can do a few episodes if you want. But let's get on to Mother Azealia. Because I'm going to give her 10s, but then I'm also going to chop her. Because she's a hypocrite. And she is, in my opinion, I also view her as, it's like, I see what she's doing, and she's another, it's like, I can get beyond the tears. Because although my heart was breaking for her, because I felt like those tears were real, I know manipulation when I see it, and I know hypocrisy when I see it, and she's a hypocrite. And she doesn't even, it's just crazy to me how she can be talking, and then when it comes to her, she always has excuses on why it is that people see her a certain way, why it is that she's in the drama. It's everybody else. Everybody else is painting her this way. Oh, see, they want you to see what a bad black woman is and what a good black woman is. You have to also take some accountability for the shit that you're doing. I'm sorry. It's like, we're too old for that shit. It's not everybody else's fault. Maybe they are. Maybe there is an agenda, but you're handing it to them. You're willfully saying, I'm going to cut the fuck up so that you can play me on the blogs. At no point did I hear her say, okay, because here's the thing. When she was talking about that argument that she had with that Disney star, here's what I did not hear her say. You know what? I regret that night. I probably shouldn't have gotten into it with her. At the end of the day, it was petty and I shouldn't have done it. All you heard her say was, well, they wanted to show you what a good black woman is and then the type of black woman that you don't need. So it's nothing but victimization. At no point did I hear her say, I'm a grown-ass woman arguing with a child. When are we going to hear that? Because if I would have heard her say that, then I would be thinking, she may have some sickening bops, and I do agree with you, but I'm just saying, the reason why she's not further along, she wants to put it on everybody else. But Azealia, you have to take some accountability too. Now with the RZA thing, I do agree with her. If it happened the way that she said, I do agree with her. But at the end of the day, Azealia, the part that I'm not hearing her talk about is, here's what I'm hearing. You said that Reza or Rizza, I don't even know what is it? I just call her RZA girl. I don't know what her name is. But okay, what I'm hearing you say is she flew you to Los Angeles. You came out there for her. Okay, so you came out there for her, but then you're like, you came out there for the record deal. So did you come out there for her because she requested your presence or what? Like, is it business or is it pleasure? Because the way she was explaining it made it sound like it was more like he requested her to be there. Rizza? Okay, Rizza. So it sounded to me like you were saying he wanted you to be there, so you came there for him. But then it also sounded like you were saying that you were there for a record deal. So right there, it was kind of like, I don't understand that, but okay, fine. If you're there for the record deal, and what she said was, he brought me there to fuck Russell Crowe. Can you explain to us, the part that I'm curious about is, well, what happened in the middle? What led to him spitting on you? Is there a clip where I can go, and I'm being genuine, like, is there a clip where I can go and hear, like, what led to the spit? Did he grab your breast? What was it that required him to, or not required, but where he felt he needed to spit on you rather? Because I don't know what circumstance would permit that, but it really is disrespectful to spit in someone's face. So my question is, what is the part that occurred that transpired? Because here's my question. If it were me, see, this is where she has to be, where Azealia has to have some accountability. This is where she's not understanding. You already know how the media views you. Kanye dropped you. You fell out with this one. You fell out with that one. You already know how the media views you. If you felt that you were put in an uncomfortable situation with Russell Crowe, here's how I would have played that. I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize my opportunity. So let me just tell Rizza, hey, babe, I'm tired. I'm going to go home. I already got my Uber, so thank you so much. I'm going to go home. Hey, Ashley, gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit in no space and go back and forth with Russell Crowe and then have my entire opportunity snatched away. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm not going to even put myself in a position to where there's a threat. Legend of the Ashleys in the house. I'm so glad we stayed on, or that we came on at the time, because I wanted to give all the children an opportunity to make it in, see all your beautiful faces, all the new girls, etc. You know what? And okay, now here's the other thing about it too, though. Again, I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing. She has mental problems. She hasn't, at least I have not heard her go into what those are. Anxiety, depression, all of those are mental based. So I'm sorry. She's talking to me like a coherent person. So it's not like she's a schizophrenic and doesn't know real from real. Although y'all know how I feel about that. But as far as we know, she's not a schizophrenic. As far as the textbook definitions, where it's like, okay, she's hearing voices, she's seeing things. She knows what she's doing. Now, she may have maybe she's bipolar, but being bipolar or whatever other mental thing you can tell me doesn't mean, unless it's like some real, where she needs to be institutionalized, she still knows right from wrong. So if she can articulate and make me feel something for her and everything what she was saying, she just like with Chris Brown, I feel like when I watched his thing, at least here's where Chris Brown got my respect. I'm gonna tell you where he got my respect. Because when I watched his special, she's a bipolar schizophrenic. Okay, well, here's what I'm saying then. If that's the case, I feel like before I would come on camera, first of all, who is around her who... Well, you know what, let me not say that because I don't know all... What I start to say is who's around her to maybe reel her back, but I guess that was RZA at one point. But I mean, but here's the thing about it. I just feel like this. If she's, because I don't even know if what you're saying is accurate. I've never heard that she was a bipolar schizophrenic. I don't know. So I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time hearing that. If it's true, I feel like I've watched YouTube videos because I'm fascinated with the mind. So I watch YouTube videos with girls who have schizophrenia. I watch YouTube videos with girls that have bipolar. I watch YouTube videos with girls that have extreme anxiety and depression. Just because a bitch got a mental disorder, like that's to me an excuse, because I've watched these videos on YouTube and these girls still know how to make sense. So it's almost like, oh, well, don't expect too much from Azealia. She's crazy. So to me, I'm actually trying to give her the respect and view her as my equal. Despite whatever mental condition you are, you're not beneath me, girl. And I'm not going to let you operate beneath me. I'm not going to let you get away with that, because I feel as though, yeah, you got bipolar, but that doesn't mean that you don't know that you're doing something wrong to someone. So what, because you're bipolar, when you robbed this person, you thought that was the right thing to do because your bipolar convinced you it was okay to rob someone or stab someone in the face? Like, so you see what I'm saying? So to me, I wanted to hear her tell her side of the story, but I wanted to hear somewhere in there, you want to know what? When it came to me falling out with all these different girls, because here's what's so crazy. Here's what makes me so mad with her. Azealia be making a lot of sense, but it's because of her antics where it gets lost in the sauce. Because she'll say something about appropriation. Y'all know I'm a little bit more lax with that than some people, but I understand where she's coming from. I get it. But it just be the way. It just be the way. And not only just that, but it's that you fall out too much. You know, like, I feel like I'm the type of bitch that I try to stay out of drama for the most part. Don't get me wrong, I've had my moments, but overall, I feel like I try to stay out of issues. You know what I'm saying? I think if ever I came out and was like, this bitch, this YouTuber tried it, I think my girls would understand that, oh, it must be serious because, bitch, she doesn't normally do this. It's almost like, don't blow... Hold it. Like, pick your battles, because when you really need people to believe you, if you're always arguing, it's almost like they're just going to tune you out. Oh, yeah. Now, Tyrese, I haven't actually watched that video, Mother Ashley, but I've read about it. And yeah, he's going through some stuff, but here's the thing about it. The thing about it is, I don't explain... Or rather, I don't expect for you to give me or the public an explanation while you're in the storm. I want to be clear about that. So in other words, when Azealia got spit on, I wasn't expecting her right then. Oh, you just sat on the remote, girl. I don't know where it is, but I just see the TV doing something. Let me tell you what she did earlier. I had the TV on maybe Bravo or some channel, and she literally changed the channel to Animal Planet Girl. She was watching Pit Bulls and Parolees or some shit. Girl. But where is the remote? She must be sitting on it. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Thank you, baby. But yeah, so, I think he's letting too much get to him. Yeah, with Tyrese, so what I was going to say about Tyrese, I don't expect him right now to explain, because he's in this storm right now. I know he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with it at the moment. Azealia, why I wanted more from her interview is because some time has passed. She seems well put together. She seems like she's trying to do a comeback. So, Chris Brown, that's where I was going. So, for example, with Chris Brown, I was not expecting anything less than what he did in that documentary, because it's too much time has passed. So you have better take responsibility for what you did. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and watch a whole documentary about excuses. Oh, well, this, that, and the fourth. Like, to me, I felt like he owned every ounce of what happened. And it humanized him. Because to me, then I was like, it opened my mind to be like, you know what? Okay. All right. I'll listen. You know what? And here's my thing. I was never a fan of his, or not a fan. But when that all occurred, I did the video. Y'all know what my opinion was, because I did a video about it. But my thing was, I don't really know what happened. Who knows what the full spectrum is. Of course, when you saw the images, it's kind of like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty bad. But see, here again, I'm the kind of person who feels like people in general need to keep their hands to themselves, period. That's just how I feel. And so, for me, I was conflicted, because I feel like, well, girl, if you started this fight and then you just got the worst end of it, it's really, you're both wrong to a certain extent. I think Chris was just more wrong because he did more damage, and he's a dude. So through society's eyes, they're automatically going to condemn him. Even if she first hit him, maybe she was also fighting, but because she got the worst of it, and then also he was a dude. Because just think, if Rihanna had been in the car with Remy Ma, and she had started hitting Remy Ma, and Remy Ma had beat her up, even though Remy Ma is way bigger than Rihanna, in my opinion, and even though Remy Ma is more hood, I think people would have processed that better, even if those pictures looked exactly the same. It's just the thing in people's minds where it's like, they just couldn't get over the fact that a dude did that to her. But what I'm saying is, in general, violence is bad, period. So what I'm saying is, if it's true that they were both fighting and she just got the worst end, then they are both a little bit wrong. Because even if y'all were in an argument, it should never lead. Because I even told my ex, I said, at the time that I have to punch you, or you have to hit me or slap me, we don't need to be together. Because I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone that I got to lay my hands on. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But let me read some of these comments. I could see myself bringing back the Us Weekly videos. But again, if I were going to do that, we would have to do it in a way to where I just don't want to get into talking about people's physical appearance. Or if I do, I need to do it in a way where it's not like meant to destroy them. I don't know. Let me sleep on it. Like I said, because I still haven't figured out, when you're out here threatening The Rock's children. Oh, what? What? Yeah, see, he's having a real meltdown. He's having like an episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even himself. Like, I feel like, but see, I don't expect any answers right now because it's just too much going on. A year from now, after he gets on his medication, or after he goes to a spa, or whatever the case may be, and he gets his mind right, at the time that he goes on TV to explain where his mind is, I don't want no excuses. If you're not ready to tell us the truth, then don't do this. That's just how I feel about that kind of thing. Like, I feel like don't you hate when you watch somebody? Do you feel comfortable talking about what occurred in Texas? Well, I think it's a false flag, but y'all know how I am about that. I don't trust the government. I feel like all these shootings are fake as fuck. I feel like all the shit happening is fake as fuck. And it's also that they can take away our guns because they see the people are rising up and they know it's about to go to the left. And so they figure if we can create an environment to where we take away their guns, once we kind of have them by the neck, they won't have anything to defend themselves with. So all this shit is false flags. I don't believe for a motherfucking second at all. I believe you're killing all these innocent people just so that you can push this agenda to take away guns. All of what this is happening is just so they can say, see what I'm saying? See why y'all don't need guns? See why we need to take away these guns? See why we need... So it's about to go to the left, and they know that, and they're trying their hardest to scare us into submission. And it's crazy because for the first time, really, in my life, I've never seen anything like this. I feel like for the first time in my life, I can sense that people are waking up, which a week ago, I didn't even think that people were going to do that. Today, I think things are changing. It's just different. People, I'm seeing more and more in the comments. People are saying, before it used to be like, oh my, people were more afraid. But now when I go onto the different blogs on Yahoo, on TMZ, on here and there, you still get the idiots, but people are starting to know this is fake. This is fake. They're just trying to bait us with race wars. They're just trying to bait us with sexism, LGBT, all this shit. They're just baiting us. They're just trying to find ways to separate us so that we don't unify and overthrow them. But it's going to happen. It's starting to happen so rapidly now. That's why you're starting to see so many shootings back to back. That's why. Because they're realizing, oh my God, like it's happening now. This thing, that the worst case scenario is happening. And the people are refusing to bow down. We know there's so many of the puppeteers in the background. We know their names. We know their face. Soros. What was that guy who just died? David Rockefeller. Like, we know their faces. We know where the money's going. The wars that they're starting. I feel like let me tell you the reason why I feel like they haven't started a war with Russia or Korea is because they know that the American public is not going to get behind it. So it will look crazy for them to start a war and then the soldiers are refusing to serve, or that people aren't signing up for it. Because I think people are tired of sending their children into wars of choice for what? Oil and gas? Gold and diamonds? Like shit that means nothing? Shit that is like, it's such a manipulation. Like y'all know me. I can go on and on and on and on as far as that is concerned, because it's like I'm too awake for it now. But at the same time, I'm seeing people are waking up. It's happening, you guys. And I don't know how. Yeah, it's the control. You said, oh, so the people still... Yeah, people have to die. It's like 9/11. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? And people just don't want to believe that our government would do it. But girl, believe it. Because it ain't Ripley's, Miss Thing. So whether you believe it or don't, girl, it is occurring. Our government is killing people so that they can push these wars forward. Because there's a lot of money involved. But they lie. Just know that. Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I don't know if it's gonna... It might. I don't know if we're gonna get to Rome, because back then we didn't have social media. Back then we didn't have all the same tools. Now I think that the country is gonna But see, here's the issue though. Here's my concern. I do believe that the government as a whole is about to get overthrown. They just don't see that. No, I lied. They do see it coming, which is why they're trying to use their same tricks. You know what I'm saying? Even like with Hillary. Look at this. From Hollywood to politics, it's all imploding. Everybody, it's like a cesspool right now. Like Kevin Spacey, it's like now every day it's a new person. It's a new name. But see, then also too, I think that some of that is real, but I also think some of it is fake. And why I think some of it is fake is because, and when I say fake, I don't mean it's fake. Let me clarify. I don't mean it's fake. I just mean it's well-timed. So I think the Kevin Spacey thing is true, but I find it coincidental that it's all coming out right now, because see, the government is trying to do some slick shit on the side. And so if they can throw him under the bus and Harvey Weinstein at the right moment, we'll be looking at them, not what they're doing. So I believe Harvey is a pervert, and I believe he did all the things that people are saying he did. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some people are also throwing in, okay, here's another thing. Let's talk about this. Hey, baby, how you doing? Come on through. I love your avatar with them glasses. Come on through. Who kept denying the conspiracies? You said, oh yeah, Q, I Ubered an FBI agent home who was a little drunk and gave me the tea. He kept denying conspiracies whenever. Yeah, girl. They are actually hoping to create a unified world government where they further... but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because I thought it was going to happen, to be honest, but now I'm starting to see that it's not going to happen. It's just too much. Like, the whole world will explode before the world as a collective allows the government, any government, to say, people are getting sicker, they're making less money, they're less happy, everything is less, but yet they're charging us more. They're charging us more. Let me give you a quick example of what I mean. So I went to a gas station. I purchased organic Powerade or something like that. It was a strawberry Powerade or Gatorade or something to that effect. And it was organic. Okay, well, on the side, it tells you all the organic properties. So one of the things might have been like, it's no GMOs. Maybe another thing was no high fructose corn syrup or something like that. I don't fucking know what it was. But here's the thing that stood out to me. Here was the one thing that stood out to me. One of the things about it is that there's no food coloring in it. Now, I'm thinking to myself, none of these, I think all the drinks, Kool-Aid, all of that should be clear. There should be no food coloring because it's harmful. I feel like, to me, my mother did an experiment where she was watering plants with her students, watering plants, but with food coloring water. So she would drop red in one glass, blue in another, yellow in another. Now, when she would feed that water to the plants, those colors would come out of you would see those colors throughout the leaves and the petals. So when you put that in, it's happening to us too. Who knows how those colors are coloring our insides, our skin, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it would take them nothing to just stop putting food coloring in it. Why can't you just give me the flavor without that color? Why can't I just get the color? And why are you going to make me pay more for, you actually took something out of it? So I got to pay more to get less? You're taking things out. And then I start thinking, well, shit, if you can do that, why not just make all the drinks this way? It just feels like they can do so much to help us and they just choose not to. Now, natural color. Okay, now, Chris, that's the exception. If we're talking natural color, so you're making some type of strawberry drink, so strawberries naturally have a red dye to it. So, okay, fine, I can roll with that. But when we're talking about, you know, it's not natural. You made this flavor in a factory, so it's not even like you're using real oranges or real grape or real strawberry. It's all something that you created in a factory. At that point, we don't really need the food coloring because, bitch, when I purchased it at Kroger, I saw that it was grape, so I know what it's supposed to taste like. I don't need it to be purple for me to know that it's grape. It don't gotta be green for me to think it's green apple. As long as that flavor is there, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? You said for market. And that's what I'm saying, though. But I don't think that people, I get it, but why can't the packaging be a color? Why does the actual food got to be a color? You know what I'm saying? So I get for packaging purposes, but don't you think for, how'd you call it? Don't you think for marketing purposes, maybe it might make more sense to be like, look, we're taking all the food colorings out of our Kool-Aid and it's healthier. Don't you think that would sell more Kool-Aid? Like, if people were thinking we can get the flavor and it's just a little bit healthier, like, I think that would be healthier than being like, oh, it's only 50 cents and it got hella food coloring. It takes hella sugar. Like, they know what they can do. They know how. Then there was a girl. Oh my God. So I ran into a girl was it Verizon or T-Mobile? Because my friend needed a replacement phone. He broke his iPhone. And so, anyway, she worked. What was her job? Fuck. She works. God, I can't remember what her position was. All I know is that with all the companies like Johnson & Johnson, she, in her own words, she said she called them sketchy companies. Companies that do put a lot of knowingly put a lot of harmful chemicals in their products. She says whatever her company is that she works for, they deal with those companies. They're like a liaison in some type of way. I don't know exactly. I can't remember her position. But she was saying, yeah, you know, Johnson & Johnson just won their case. You know, because remember they had that case where it was that big deal where they were saying they are putting things in the baby powder that are causing ovarian cancer and stuff. That's a big deal. But just because you have money, you won, even though the proof is right there. It's like, that's why the people are going to rise up, because they're getting tired of their families being killed off. You know, I think every time I turn around and somebody dies, I automatically say it's either cancer or a car accident or a shooting. It's like, in my mind, I hear those three things so much. And Why is it that we have to raise money for cancer? Something that any and every person is going to like in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be touched. It should be an epidemic. It should just be whatever the money is that we need to find the cure. They should just fund it. And yet they don't. It's like you got to do a cancer marathon where you're running 10 miles to raise money. Like, why? I never understood those marathons. I think they're fun and I think they're for a good cause. But why? Okay, we pay taxes. If you have cancer, you're still paying taxes. So shouldn't that money also be allocated to finding cures for the people that are paying into this system that are sick? It just kills me. It just really upsets me, honestly, because this is why the world is about to have a revolution. Now, whether we win that fight or don't, I don't know. But it's about to go down because I think people are getting tired of being lied to. Cow milk, you said health-wise, because you know what I think. Did you leave a comment on? I think I did a table read, and somebody left me a comment about milk. It might have been you. But let me tell you what I think about milk. I'm not really a huge milk person. Okay, see, I remember that comment. I meant to respond back, so I apologize for not responding back. To be honest, I have gotten away from milk. I primarily do almond milk. I still do dairy products, though. So, for instance, I still do sour cream, yogurt. I still do cheese. But I hear what you're saying. I don't know, you guys. Here's what I will say. I think, Chris, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you said something like with the milk, how they do it. There's pus in the milk and there's like blood in the milk or something like that. See, my reason for not drinking milk at this point is not about that, because I realize the reason there's pus and blood in it is because they're doing it wrong. You know, 100 years ago when you were on a farm, I'm sure when you're serving fresh milk squeezed on your farm to your family, I'm sure there wasn't blood and pus in that. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's because they're trying to create this milk in mass that they probably are just putting the udders on some type of machine that is just really rough, and which is wrong. I think, you know, I don't know. I just feel like, to me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with humans or any other animal utilizing the resources. That's what it's there for. And to me, you know, I know that vegans have this whole idea about what they think is right as far as eating animals, but and that's fine. I respect it. I just disagree. I think, to me, it's almost silly though, because to me, you know, it's a contradiction. On one hand, they say a chicken's life is worth the same as my life. Why do I think my life is any more spectacular than a chicken? But then at the same time, they'll turn around and say, well, when you say, well, if I'm just the same as a dog or a cat, don't they eat what they want? Well, but you have consciousness, so you're supposed to do better. So on one hand, you put me on the same level as a chicken, but then you want me to do better than a chicken would do. Like, you want me to actually put more thought into it than a chicken would. It makes no sense. It's like, it's either I'm superior to the chicken or I'm on the chicken's level. It can't be both. And so that's the critical mistake that they make when they're making these arguments. But people just don't know how to debate the right way. So I noticed, and then that's another thing, insects that I see people talking about. I don't know how the roach made it onto the platform, but insects, that's another example. Okay, so how come a chicken is equal to my life, but yet you have a roach in your house? Most of these vegan girls, you think they're really going to sit there and let a spider be in the corner of their wall? And then they be like, oh, well, girl, you can catch it and put it outside. Well, do you? Bitch, if a mosquito is drinking your blood, girl, do you allow her to get her meal, or do you swat it? Like, it's just ridiculous. But then they have excuses. Well, insects are different. Okay. It's a living creature, boo. So, I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, here's what I think. I think if you want to be vegan, be vegan. There's nothing wrong with vegan. And like I say, when we do the summer camp, I swear to you, I will have a vegan selection for the girls, and I will make sure that it's good vegan stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just be like, I'm not going to say for the girls that do dairy or meat products, we have all the legendary food, but then now the vegans are like, well, what about our food? No, we're going to make sure that all of our girls are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it definitely is important to make sure that all the girls get their plate. I just feel like, to me, it's just, vegans come across me as very like condescending. They're hypocrites, I find. They make so many excuses on why, when I ask questions, well, I can't do this because there's so many excuses, but they're so judgmental. It's just like, you can't have it both ways. It's either you're that bitch or you're not. If you are really for the animals and you are, and you're judging me because I'm not helping the animals in exactly the way you're doing it. And then I turn around and say, well, you can help the animals by selling your house and living of the land. Why not get a teepee? Why not have a wishing well? Why not have solar panels? Oh, well, that's unrealistic. It's not unrealistic. And by that logic, I could very easily say what you're asking me to do is unrealistic, because what you're asking me to do is change my entire palette. So you're asking me to change my lifestyle, the different products that I use, because it's not even just about not using animal products. It's also about not using products that are animal tested, which is about 98% of the products that are out there on the market. So you're asking these girls to change their lifestyle, but then if I flip it on you and say, well, what about A, B, and C, and all these excuses, it's the hypocrisy. So to me, I respect vegans that say, hey, it's my choice. If you have any questions that you want to know something about, I'm here as a book of information. It's there for the taking. I would respect that. You know what I'm saying? Rather than you judging, oh, ew, oh my God. Cause like there's this one guy that I follow, and it's like, I hate going past his post because it's so annoying. I love him as a person, but I hate his Instagram post because it's so condescending. So like, it's annoying to me. Like, his posts are all to make people who eat meat or use animal products to make them feel stupid. And it's almost just kind of like, why? Just because someone eats meat does not make them stupid. The issue with the meat these days is not even the meat, it's what's in the meat. So so you're being manipulative because you're saying something where there's some truth to it, because when you eat a lot of meat, considering what they're putting in the meat, it does have some long-term effects because of what they're putting in. But when you but what you're doing is you're taking like a fact and you're warping it into something else. People are not getting sick because they're eating the meat. They're getting sick because of what's in the meat. People have been eating meat longer than they haven't been eating it. And to me, I feel as though we eat both. We do vegetables, fruits, and we do meat. I don't see why that's so hard to understand. I feel like our capabilities, we're able to do a lot. It's not like a cow. It's not like trying to feed a cow a fish. When you look at herbivores, their teeth are typically flat. I don't see why people don't get that. Like, my teeth are very sharp. When I get my finger and I run my finger on the surface of my teeth are sharp. So you're not going to convince me that, oh, humans aren't really meant to eat meat. That's just something that they convinced you. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they fucking didn't. And you know what? Everything on this planet eats itself. So you die, the earth will eat you. Should the earth feel guilty? Oh, girl, let's go vegan? Like, girl, come on. And then people will say, this is another thing the vegans say that's so retarded. It's just so stupid. The hypocrisy is just, again, I respect vegans. I just don't like when people are hypocrites and they don't see it. They'll say, I heard a vegan make a post. So I saw a post that a vegan posted, something like, why would you want to eat a chicken? Why would you want to eat a chicken that's been dead for 3 days or something like that? Oh gosh, my goodness. So when I was in culinary school in Job Corps, one thing I remember learning is something like, with vegetables, fruits and vegetables, you want to eat them quickly because they lose nutrients once you pluck them. Like, they start to die because they are dead. Once you pluck it off the tree, it's no longer attached to its life source. So what's the difference? Bitch, either way, if you're eating meat or you're eating vegetables, it's not like you're eating all your vegetables in one day. So aren't you also having rotting? Like, everybody's food is rotting at the same time. It's not like, oh, vegetables don't rot. Bitch, everybody's food is going bad. Like, the longer it sits there, the longer it goes bad, the less nutrients it's gonna have no matter what. So it's just like, okay, so what? Like, I have a chicken that's been dead for 3 days. Bitch, you have asparagus that's been in your fridge for what? A week? What, you have carrots that have been in your fridge for like what? A week? So it's like, I don't understand. It's like the hypocrisy. It's just too much hypocrisy. I just feel like there is beauty to veganism, and like I said, I think it's really dope what the girls are doing. I just don't like it when they start making it a morality thing, because I'm not wrong for eating an animal. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. The fact that I choose not to eat a dog or a cat is my choice, because in some places around the world, that's something they do too. That's a choice that I've made. But if you went to China and they're eating cats and dogs, I'm not going to even say that that's wrong. It's just something that I won't partake in. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh girl, this is so wrong. Because at the end of the day, in India, they think cows are gods. So the same way how somebody coming to me telling me eating a cow is wrong because cows are goddesses or gods, I'm not going to sit here and impose my view. People do what they want to do. If you want to go to China and buy 30,000 dogs so you can spare them, do that. But at the end of the day, you're not going to change that culture. Because at the end of the day, let's just say there was another species on this planet that ate humans. It would just be what it is. Like, we would have to figure a way out of it, but it would just be what it is. Like, it's not wrong to eat a living thing for nourishment. It just isn't. In my opinion, personally. Now, I think how they do it is totally wrong. And that's another thing. The vegans, oh my God, this is the last thing we're gonna shift gears. Because I know I know we have some vegans in the audience. So it's no shade. Like I said, I have a lot of respect. It's just the girls that are the hypocrites. And then the ones that be acting so high and mighty. But here's one last thing. So, hold on. Girl, I was about to, because now I'm going on to something else with the vegan conversation. Does anybody remember what the last thing I just said before I paused myself? Does anybody remember? Come on, Attack on Titan. Eating the people, Attack on Titan? Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think there was a show called Parasite that I loved. There's an anime show called Parasite, probably my all-time favorite, because I adored that show. But Miggy used to make that point, like, it's not wrong, because what it was is these viruses were eating humans. And what the girl was saying, what Miggy was saying was, well, what's the difference? You eat animals, we eat you. Like, it's just the way it is. And that's true. It's like, that is the way it is. And unless you're a cremated girl, it's going to happen to you no matter what. So it's like, you're paying into the system that you're going into. Like, we're all going into the system. So it's almost like, you're sparing all these animals, girl. They won't spare you. It's not a morality thing. It's just nature. And why, on one hand, vegans are so about nature, but then it's just so, because there was another post that I saw. We're the only species that eats other animals' eggs. Isn't that weird? I hate when they do those posts. Oh, we're the only species that drink milk. We're the only ones. As if to say, yeah, nigga, we're the only species that know how to make remote controls. Yeah, we're the only species that have cable. Yeah, we're the only ones that live in an apartment, drive cars, take cruises, go on airplanes, wear clothes, get our hair done. Girl, we're the only ones. So just because something is the only one doesn't make it right or wrong. And you're right, there are plenty of animals that do eat eggs. I just don't understand why people, all I'm saying is go vegan and then be positive about it though. Like, I feel like the vegan community would be much bigger if it didn't come across as a cult. It feels very culty to me. And then most of the girls that go into it don't ever stick with it because they're just doing it because it's a fucking trend. It's like, girl, you don't even know. You don't even know why you really want to do this. It's all because you keep seeing it on Instagram, you keep seeing it on Facebook, and now you're feeling like, oh, okay, now I should do this. Because it's like that. But see, that's how they get you with that groupthink bullshit. And it's just silly to me. It's just silly to me. I feel like I'm pro people being happy and healthy. If you find that you go vegan and you feel better, girl, let have. And I think you should share that, but do it in a way where people will be receptive to it. Don't judge people and make them feel bad about their choices. Don't condemn people for, you know what I'm saying, for doing what is natural to do. Now, what you might want to say is, you know what? Maybe eating meat is fine, but what they're putting in the meat is awful. So there are some alternatives. You know, we have vegan nuggets because those vegan nuggets do taste really good. So I'm like, if I were vegan, I would sell it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you see, pause real quick. You see how I'm like, I feel like there's some fur on my nose or something. And this space is so tiny. When I leave here, I'm going to step right at the threshold so y'all can literally see for like half of October, all of November, and then half of December, how tiny my space is. And like I say, it's no complaints as far as my mom, because my mom has been nothing but an angel making sure I have my favorite foods. All I do is go buy the food and she makes it. And she makes it just how I like it, just the way it was. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I don't want to, I hope my vegans in the audience, I love y'all. And like I say, why I know that our vegans are different is because you're here. So I know we're already like-minded. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have an issue with veganism. I just have a problem with people being hypocrites. And then especially when they don't get it. Like when you point out, well, okay, so you live in a nice area. I love where you live. Do you know how much land was required to do the plumbing for this? How much drywall, all like the warehouse where that had to be made, the like everything you touch is leaving a footprint. So just because you didn't eat the animal didn't mean you still didn't ultimately kill the animal when the apartment you moved into took the land away from the animal, causing the animal to go into the street and become roadkill. Girl, she's dead and she's on your watch. But that's okay. Well, girl, no, that's different because it's different. No. Okay, girl. All right. Okay, so it could be different, girl. It's different, but it's not that different. All I'm saying is, girl, there's things that you're doing that are also contributing to the suffrage of the animals. It says veganism is more of a first world necessity, our way. Exactly. Because that's another thing too. In these other places where they're eating meat and stuff, these are like dirt poor places. A lot of these places. And again, why do you think these cultures are still around? Because it works for them. Because they're poor. But how does it work? They know how to take the rice and, okay, the rice is going to be filling. Let's throw on some. These girls be eating rats. I was watching one thing on Netflix where it was a white dude and his father. And at one point, maybe he was in Taiwan, Cambodia, or someplace. And anyway, that food does look like it's going to give you food poisoning, though, girl. Let's just be realistic. It did look like, I don't know, because I don't see no hand sanitizer. Don't know if I'm pressed on, ordering street food. But you said, that's a good point. Let me see. I never shame people for eating meat. I think that's fair. My thing is this. If you want to educate them, educate them. I'm not even mad at that. You see what I'm saying? But there's a way. You know what? Here's what we'll do as an example. Christianity. This is a good example. To me, at least. If you are a Christian, I don't have no problem with that at all. Because I think whatever you have to do to feel right with yourself, do what you got to do. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you ain't hurting yourself. Okay. I can live with that. If you feel like the gospel is bringing new life to your life, fine. Here's what I can't get on board for. Now all of a sudden you're a Christian and now you're condemning everybody else to hell. That's where I have the problem. Because bitch, weren't you just a crackhead too? Weren't you just a prostitute as well? But now all of a sudden you done changed your life and now you want to judge everybody else? Instead of coming from a judgmental point of view, maybe why don't you go out and seek people who are doing the same damaging things that you were doing and minister to them and talk with them in a loving motherfucking way, instead of trying to be like, girl, you a hoe and you going to hell. Jesus loves me. Yes, he does. And I'm covered in the blood, but girl, you are going to hell. It's like these girls are so judgmental. That's what I don't like. I can take veganism. It's just when so what? So now you're a vegan. You think you can judge everybody else? Like, nigga, you still doing shit that's fucking up the planet too. But just because you're vegan, you think that now you have the keys to heaven? Like, oh, okay. That's the only thing that bothers me. Like I say, because honestly, I am trying to cut down on my meat intake, but it's mainly because of what they're putting into me. Like, I just feel like I don't trust what they put in this meat. I just know. Like, they're putting in too many chemicals, too many hormones, too many preservatives. Processed foods, I'm slowly but surely getting away from. Temporarily, just because I'm at home, there's the fridge is prime real estate these days. Like, it's prime real estate. So it's like, I don't want to do too much grocery shopping, pretty much. I have enough room in there for my dirty rice. I bought, sidebar. Is there anybody in the house tonight that like sherbet ice cream. Am I the only one? It's like I'm starting to learn that so many people hate sherbet. And I'm like, I think sherbet is pretty good, but don't nobody like sherbet. Like literally everybody I know, and I'm only just learning this. I don't even know why it came up in conversation, but literally everyone's like, hell no, they do not like sherbet. And I'm just like, girl, I thought sherbet was sickening, but I guess I'm alone. But no, okay, so I see the girls. Okay, so what on earth? You said it's an interesting conversation. I'm vegan, but I'm also sad because it's looking like I'm gonna have to get a car, but you want to know what? Here's what I would say though. Here's what I'm saying. See, that's what I don't want. When I say don't drive a car if you're a vegan, that's only to the girls that are condescending. You, my love, get your car. You got to get your car. It's no I'm only trying to show them what they're doing to other people. But to a vegan that's just living their life and trying to just do the right thing and being a good person, girl, get you your car. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe what you can do when you go for your car, if you're really trying to lessen that footprint, maybe you can, look into a car where, you know what I'm saying, where maybe she's half gas, half electric, or all electric. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, it's like, girl, no. You don't have nothing to feel bad about. Because it's only, to me, the only time I feel vegans should feel bad is when they make other people feel bad. That's when I start feeling like, well, let's look at what the choices what you're making. That's the only time. Aside from that, typically speaking, I don't have a problem with it. Do I think the Bible is legit? I think there are passages. Okay, let me say this. I think that, how do I say this? I want to say this in, okay, I'm going to just say it straight out, and then if I got to clean it up, we'll clean it up. I think the Bible is, I'm not going to give you a percentage, but I'll just say this. I think there's a lot of potential real stuff, but then there's also a lot of bullshit in the Bible. I believe that. I think that there were genuine people that were getting these messages, kind of like what I was telling you. Like, after having done it myself, I feel like, oh, if someone ever did say they had a conversation with God to where they put it in a book like that, I imagine that's what it would feel like. So I believe that it's possible that you could break through and get some type of message. But the problem is, when I start to feel like, as you're reading the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, all these different books, when it starts to tell you things like, you should be afraid of God, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Why? I'm not afraid of my mother. My mother, in the literal sense, my mother and my father gave me life. They came together and they gave me life. I'm not afraid of my parents. I love my parents. I adore my parents. So if I am a child of God, why would I be afraid of my father? How does that make sense? So any book that's telling me to be afraid of God shows me that's someone who got that genuine, real message, and then they decided, see, when they're saying fear God, what they're really saying is fear me. Because what you have to understand is, when you're sitting in the congregation and someone is telling you, you do this, you do that, you donate this much to the church or God will get you. At that point, it's a person speaking to you. But he's using that book as his and or her authority. So from that, now I'm not saying all pastors or imams or anything are like that. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying they have the power to manipulate people's minds and then make them feel like they have to do certain things. Because it's like, there's no stronger, if you believe in God, there's no stronger connection. So if somebody is telling you they're claiming to have that connection with God and they can facilitate something, it's just, it can get a little bit dangerous. But I just feel like people are so greedy. They probably saw the real Bible and said it was too much love in it. And so they had to put fear and scare tactics and all of that other shit that they put into it. And then you have the Bible, then the King James edition, then the New Kingdom, then that's why you have all those versions, because it's like, to me, it should just be the one book, and I don't want anybody's opinion. I don't want to hear what you think God meant. Just tell me what the damn message was. Once you translate it, don't touch it. Leave it be. Dag. That's what I be feeling like, because I know in the Quran there is so much fear tactics. Excuse me. There was even a book. To give you an example. Excuse me. There was a book where, when I was at the private Muslim school, it was a book of hadith, And within that book, there was so much about hell. Hell, hell, hell. So much. So much. I mean, there were stories about, you know, boulders coming down, smashing your head into a million pieces, blood and pus, women being so terrified that their babies will just come straight out of their uteruses, and I mean, just out of sheer fear. I don't believe in anything like that. I don't believe in any God that would create people in love just to terrify them. I don't think that's true. I think if you're a decent person, whether or not you're exactly what the Bible is saying or not, if God made me in his and or her or it's whatever it is, if I'm made in God's image, that means I'm of God. So God makes no mistakes, then that means that I'm who I'm supposed to be. And as long as I keep doing the right thing, you're not going to tell me just by me being gay I'm going to hell. You believe that, I don't. And it seems to me, when it comes to my case, what I believe trumps what anybody thinks about me. So, but I be thinking, what if white men rewrote the Bible to rationalize why having slaves? Well, who knows? I mean, you know, it's all speculation, but here's all I would say. I just want my team to question everything. Question it. You know what I'm saying? And any person that makes you feel wrong about asking a question, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's real. You know when it's a bullshit question. Don't just... I'm not saying be a bullshitter. I'm saying if you have a real question, then I would just... If someone makes you feel wrong about that, it's something wrong with them. Personally. Like, you can question the Bible too. You know what I mean? You can question the Quran, the Torah. I'm personally in a place in my life right now where I don't need a book to tell me necessarily how I can communicate with God. I feel like I've had enough experiences in real time that I've come to you all to talk about revelations and different things that my mind has been open to, enough to know that when I want to speak to God, I can speak to God. We all have an independent line to the universe. It's like a hotline. At any point in time, we can pick up and dial. I don't need to be told to pray, be told to pray 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? In order, like, one time might be okay. I'd rather give you one prayer in the morning, and I mean it, than to be... I remember when I was a kid, you know, and we would pray, I'd be thinking, ooh, it's Real World tonight. I can't wait to see what Curl says tonight. Ooh, my show is coming on tonight. Like, I'm not even praying. It was just, I was going through all the stuff a person who prays goes through, but I was not praying. So wouldn't you much rather a person who is like, here's the thing, I'll roll a blunt and I'll go into the bathroom, right? And I'll put the fan on and I spray, I put my headphones on, I'll listen to some spiritual shit and I just sit there. And I say, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, universe, thank you, universe. It's like a chant, but I mean it. I go down the list. I thank the universe for everything. The hair follicles in my head, my skin, my sight, my mind. You know what I'm saying? I have all my fingers. It's little things that we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? It's little things we take for granted. And so for me, it's like, that's how I communicate with God. I don't have to be told, I gotta, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Simi Allahu Muhammad, like all that. I don't need to do all that. Like, it's so I'm here to, but to be clear, I'm not mad at anybody for doing it. You see what I'm saying? If you're Buddhist, if you're this, if you're that, if it brings you peace, then it's right for you. The only issue what I have is when you start trying to condemn people because they're not Buddhist or they're not Kabbalah or Christian or Muslim or Jewish. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You go ahead and wash your face, baby. We'll be here. If you want good smoking music, listen to Japanese jazz. I gotta write that down because I didn't even know that was a damn thing. No shade. Where's my notepad? Okay, hold on. I'll just put it on my computer. That is interesting, actually. What is she doing? Is she throwing? What is this picture? What is this? What is she doing? I'm sorry. I just got a picture from my ex about one of our kids. What is she doing? What is she doing? What is going on? How are you going to send that type of picture and not say what the hell it is? Wait, I want to write that down. Japanese jazz. That's what I want to say. That's such an interesting... The hell is that? Sounds like it's gonna be something cute. Let me see. Japanese jazz. Okay, well, we'll try it out. But you know what I'm saying, you guys? You better come through, Buddhist. That is a throwback. He said Buddhist princess. So I'll give you guys some exclusives right now, since this is Patreon, and this is the family. So I'm gonna give you guys some exclusives. I do plan on bringing back Alexia Maria. Buddhist princess, I wasn't really thinking her or that thing. I wasn't really thinking that, but definitely Alexia, definitely Maria. I'm thinking we may tinker with them just to kind of see how we can kind of put a new funk to it. Because I haven't done a skit in a long while. And then, of course, ultimately, now this is going to come a little bit later down the road, but I would like to bring back Tiny Toy Kingdom. Now, that's just such a. Here's the thing with my new apartment, I have a free range of my space. It's going to be so beautiful. I have so many options. I can make that look magical for the show. Yeah, so once I get into my new space, there's a lot of big shit I have planned. But here's what I'm gonna do. What I decided is I'm gonna block it off, right? So when I come back, Cooking with Q and Pursue with Cutie are number one. So I say between December, January, February, March. So between December and March, I want to have that up and running. Pursue with Cutie needs to be up and running. Cooking with Q needs to be up, we need to be well into that. Then I think I want to start playing around with the ASMR on Patreon, and then of course on YouTube too as well, to kind of grow that, because I really don't grow that. But ASMR, then I want to get into some of the characters. The story times, it's just so much. There's so much. But I do want to get back into that, because I feel like it's something that I was good at, but it was just something that I was too all over the place. It was just hard for me to organize. And because for those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that the Maria show, Miss Maria Benita Consuelo, that was supposed to be an actual series. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and look, it's episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. I was just too all over the place to really kind of focus in and get it done. This time, however, first of all, I have a mini series. That's another thing. But that's going to be in the fucking summer. That's Tiny Toy Kingdom and my other scripted show. That's going to be loosely based off my life, because the property on my apartment is so beautiful. For $250, I can rent this space, so I can use and record this space for certain scenes. Let's just say if I'm going to be a graphic designer on the show. It's a mini series. I only want to do 6 episodes. I only want to do 6 episodes just to even see if people are interested. Oh, of course, Pursue Acuity is a life coaching. I don't know if I'm guessing you didn't know that. But yeah, Pursue Acuity is life coaching, so that's coming back. Life coaching, in a real way where it's specifically that. You know what I'm saying? But where was I going? I was going somewhere. Oh, yes. So it's a mini series. I've already started developing the show. I already have a few characters developed. I want to start small, because now it would be me being a direct. It's just a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in what I'm doing. And I think that some of the girls that I've already kind of pitched the idea to seem excited. And then if we start small, it gives it time to kind of pick up a fan base, if there is one. And then we take it from there if there's actually a want for it. You know what I'm saying? No, listen, go ahead on and write that paper. We're going to go ahead on and, post. I want to see about posting this. It's just the internet is so bad. I'm surprised that we're still on. I'm guessing we're still on because I'm forcing it. Because sometimes when I play League, it almost feels like League locks the internet in. It's just when I leave League where the internet kicks me out. So I'm almost afraid. I feel like if I kick, once I end this, I feel like it's going to kick me out of the internet. So, you know what I forgot? Movie night. Yes, duh. See, that's what I'm saying. See why I need to give myself blocks so that I can make sure, I want to pepper it in. I don't want to just, roll everything out at the same time. So, have I seen I have, I'm, 2 episodes behind, though. I'm 2 episodes behind. Oh my God, hold on. I feel like I'm losing. There's so many good questions. Hold on 1 second. When I first watched Tiny Toy Kingdom, I always wanted to voice. You know what? It's so funny because one of my friends, I told him, I said, when I bring my my show back, Tiny Toy Kingdom, I said, maybe you could be one of the voiceover actors, because in the past I had to be all the voices. So I'm totally like open to bringing, I mean, but it's going to be a small operation. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, even though I have more money, I don't have like money to pay like salaries where it's like, okay, you're a voiceover actor, that's $2,000. Like, I can't afford that. In the beginning, it'll just be more like my friends that are just like into the arts, who are just like doing me a favor. And then once it starts to like really pick up, then we can start talking about that as it grows. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is I need to finish Stranger Things season 1. I'm like really picky when it comes to shows. Stranger Things is a show that once I start watching it, I love it. But if it's like House of Cards, if I stop watching, it takes forever for me to get back in. Orange is the New Black, like shows like that, I kind of gotta watch it in one sitting, because if I take a break, it's over. Q, what are your thoughts on Game of Thrones season? I liked it up until they started doing like shitty writing with that dragon. I thought that was the worst bit of writing I had ever seen in a long time. Like, I feel like Game of Thrones writing had been so superior. It just felt like they were just trying to rush the story along, that they had Jon Snow be he's not even making sense. Like, okay, here it is. Daenerys is rich. This is the queen of dragons. She's here. She shouldn't even be here, but she's here. Why wouldn't you immediately be like, okay, fuck this shit and hop on the dragon? I would have rathered him do the realistic thing and hop immediately on the dragon, and then maybe that dead person throw the spear and it strikes the dragon anyway. But the whole reason why the dragon died is because you were doing what? It was just stupid writing. Dumb. And here's what's so ironic about it. What's ironic is Daenerys was the one who didn't even believe you. You are the person who was trying to save everyone, and yet you're the one who caused everyone certain damnation. It's your fault. Because if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have turned that damn dragon into a walker, or whatever she is, the undead, and then he would not have been able to control the dragon. That dragon burned down that entire wall in like 30 seconds. So all of this, and then you went through all of this trying to convince everyone to come together just so you can hand them a dragon? On that note, bitch, let me have a Funyun. Cause, bitch. Yeah, me too. And what pissed me off about that whole scene is, so he got your child killed, Daenerys, and now you want to fuck him? Girl, please. Girl, please. Girl, please. Girl, please. I hate that type of shit. I hate that. Because I would resent Jon Snow so much. To me, if I were her, I would be thinking, what the fuck? First of all, you should have had her screaming at him, like, after they would have got into a safe area, they should have had a scene in there where she's like, what the fuck? Like, beat him up, like, hit him, do something. Your dragon just died and now you wanna fuck? I hate stupid shit like that. I hate it. Jon Snow might could get it, but not after my child just died, girl. Girl, like, can we grieve a little bit? Yeah, she didn't care. Yeah. I was not here for it at all. But listen, you guys, we're gonna have to wrap up just because my back is really, I don't know if you can see, but like, this is me sitting up straight right now. And for about an hour and a half, I've literally just been slouched over. And you know my back, I'm trying to rehab it. So what I'm doing right now. That's why I cannot wait till I get into my space, you guys. And another thing, I was looking at my floor plan and I was reading about it. Another thing is, it has tall ceilings. It's 9-foot ceilings. So, or is it taller than that? I think it's 9 foot, but they're high ceilings. Like, I can't wait to like shoot videos where it's like my back, I'm not putting my back under constant strain. I'm sorry. I had actually weaned myself off of this, but I found it in some of my luggage, or garbage bag rather. I hate to depend on shit like this though. Like, I don't want to need this, but that feels so good. I'm sorry. And then I be wanting to, like, leave it on. Like, I be wanting to make it super tight, but, you know. Yeah, I wanted to see some emotion, too. No shade. But in any case, listen, I don't know how many of you play League, but I am, you know, I'm going to probably do a few rips from this bong and then play maybe an episode or 2, maybe 3 of League. If you play League, head on down. And then we can go head on and make this thing do what it does. You know what I mean? But I want to say, I know we have some newcomers. You know, I was reading on the, the post that I did, that we have some newcomers. So if you're in the audience still, welcome to the show. Hopefully you had an amazing time. And again, get into the community. You know what I'm saying? Get into the girls. Introduce yourself, whatever the case may be, and get your life. What else? Is there any more updates before I wrap up? Oh, I got my incense too, girl. See, I have a whole operation how I do this. Let me show you how I do it. So, girl, first what I do, real quick before we wrap up. Sorry. It's like they have these little balls on the back of this thing, which feels so good. Oh my God. Because I feel like it's like digging into my muscles and like relaxing my back muscles. Because I do also know that I'm very tense. Like my back is very like tense. And what it is I need to go to the spa too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so it's an honor to have you on the platform, my love. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have love for my vegans too. So I do shade the vegans, but it's not the vegans, it's just the stuck up ones that think that they're just like all that in a bag of chips. But I adore all my girls, to be honest. It really doesn't even matter, vegan or not, white, black, trans. I love all my girls. But anyway, let me tell you how I do this real quick. So I bought this incense, which by the way smells amazing. Oh, it's so pretty. I wish I could remember. Do I have the container? This just smells so pretty. Okay, so what I do is I light it. Normally I do around 2. And what happens is I put it right there by the door seal. So that's the smell that's coming out of the door. And then of course I put one over here too, so that, you know, whatever. But then I go into the bathroom. I only did it out here that one time for the smoke session, because I'll show you guys later. When I cut that light on, automatically the fan comes on. Plus, the acoustics are a turd. It's too echoey. It sounds like I'm in a can. So, I didn't really have a choice. But what I do is I do that, put it in the door. Girl, go into that bathroom by myself, put on my spiritual shit or whatever I want to watch. Oh, my mother is doing amazing. She is so happy. She is so happy. And so that's the reason why I knew. If you guys can recall, I knew. Oh, yeah, she knows. Yeah, we've talked about it. And I've explained to her the reasons why. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. So, I don't know. It's just, for me, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And it's just funny to me when the girl was like, oh, girl, did she call me a cokehead or a crackhead? I don't remember which it was, but I'm neither. And it's just so funny to me because I'm like, you wish that were the case. It's just so funny how evil people can be sometimes, because what it is, that person clearly knows that's not the case, but she's just trying to plant a seed so that people can be like, oh, is he? And my whole thing is, I'm so blessed right now. I'm not going to let that get to me at all, because at the end of the day, I'm so open about who I am and what I do and what I might try, that I don't have to defend myself against this bitch that has never met me talking about I'm a crackhead. Since when? And girl, I would love to see this girl who told you that. No one told her that, though. That's what she wants to believe. Because what it was is, I think there was a scene in there, and I could have cut it out, but I just thought, why would I cut it out? I know that I have allergies. I know that I have animals. I know that, girl, weed is that's my love, girl. As far as like your poison, alcohol, I can take or leave socially. Hold on one second. Anais, are you trying to hop out? See, it's not even her fault. I hate having to like talk to her like that, because it's not her fault. This room is so tiny. But what it is my mom's friend is allergic to cats. Now, I get that because I have allergies, but I love them, so I deal with it. But then what it is the litter box, all the fur, it's just, I have to sweep every day. It's fur everywhere. And they don't have any space. And I know she wants to get out. I know she does. And I just feel bad because she doesn't really understand what's going on. Girl, some girl on YouTube, girl, it's nobody, and who knows who she is? Who knows who she is? But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, there was a part in the video where I think either I had answered the phone, who knows what I was doing, but I had gotten up to answer the phone or to get the bond or to get the straw, because there were multiple times that I got up. But there was one time as I was doing the edit, I sat down and I had, touched my nose, and I thought, oh, that's funny, because I go off camera and then when I come back, I touch my nose. You know what I'm saying? But why edit that out? I don't want to be that person who feels like, oh, the way I did my eyebrow, they may think I have a twitch. They may think I have Parkinson's. I don't have time for all of that. Like, I know what it gives, and I feel as though anybody with the brain that is speaking to me, girl, it's like, girl, you know what it gives. You feel me? But in any case, listen, we're going to wrap this thing up, and then we're going to hop on League. If you're available, I would love to play with you. Let me just type in my handle real quick. Wait, is it? Oh, okay. I have... Hold on a second. Is there an... Ooh, I feel like there may be an underscore. Ooh. That is wrong. Girl, let me stop lying. First of all, listen, I'm going to go on. Once I go on, I'm going to leave a bulletin or a notification. And then because I'm like, wait, what? Is it Sublime Superior? I feel like it's Sublime Superior, but for some reason I'm seeing Sublime C Brule. But I feel like that's my PlayStation, and League is actually Superior, not C Brule. But then I have another game that I play that I'm Sublime something. So it's almost like I want everything to just be the same. I don't even know. You said I like to play it, but I'm not at... Well, listen, y'all. I mean, it's a free game. You know what I'm saying? So download it if you can. If you have the space, download it. Get on that level. And, it's a lot of fun. Like, the game was a lot of fun. And then I think Zachary was telling me that they changed, like, some of the runes or something like that. So... It's a lot of shit going on. I see that my face is delayed because my mouth is moving hella slow. Well, listen, okay, let's wrap up for real this time so I can, stretch my back. Paragon. Let me put that in my note. I was wondering what that fucking game was. People keep mentioning that game to me. Paragon, let me put that. Japanese Jazz and Paragon. Video game. Okay. Okay, so we're going to sign out. I don't think I have anything more to say outside of the fact that I love you guys more than words can express. You already know the drill. Via Seblan, Jelly the Galisan, the best will always come through. And as always, until next time, baby, that's all there is.